Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Excalibur Data Systems Roundtable Tech Talk. I am Mike Fuson, and this is part of our special Tech Talk series that we're doing with our team here at Excalibur that we call giving you the opportunity to meet our Knights of the Round Table. So joining me today is Mark Schot, Excalibur's Director of Customer Success. Mark, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Mike. Excited to be here.
Yeah. So as we've kind of started all of these, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get into the customer success space? And maybe help our audience a little bit. What does it mean to be a customer success manager?
Well, I mean, I started very early on with just playing with computers and had an MSX at the house, so it was kind of funny because it came out right as I was born. So I grew up with command lines and things like that. Started my own computer business, so then you're already starting to interface with customers, and that was in my mid-teens. So I was, I guess, very early starting something
Yeah, so
up for
just a couple of
myself.
years ago. Just a couple of years ago.
and I also had a job at the local supermarket as a meat cutter, so there's a lot of customer interfacing there, and it's kind of just always stuck with the element of interfacing and servicing customers. Even was a cab driver for a while, which introduces you to a lot of interesting people and having different kinds of conversations, but always having to learn to make conversations with people that might be very different than the people you normally have in your circles. Um, so yeah, then of course down the line, some people might not know, but I moved from the Netherlands to the United States in 2009. Kind of had to start over with the resume. So I started working in a call center, and of course, again, constantly talking to customers, working with customers, finding best fits and need the needs of the customer and how to address them. Initially in a sales capacity. From there, I became a support supervisor first, which our team did very well, which I was able to leverage into becoming a QA manager. So then it's becoming more in the overarching, how can we improve the experience for all the customers calling into the call center consistently instead of just influencing my own team. And then after I was laid off there, I started to work for a large software company that where I became in charge of the reference program, the customer reference program, where I met a lot of the people that have already recorded videos with you and now work for Excalibur. So that's fun that they're now my coworkers, but they were my champions back then, in helping promote and sell the product. Um, but from there, I definitely got a growing interest and love for the shareable software, and got probably much more invested into the tool than my function required. But it really just made me have a better connection with the customer base and understanding more where they're coming from, what their struggles are. And so over time, that became the foundation of the customer success program in that organization, which I was at the start of with one other director. And so we set that all up. And of course, over time, I was able to interface a lot with Excalibur, and I sort of became this vision board thing where I thought like, oh, maybe one day I'll work for Excalibur, and I didn't know what that was going to look like at the time. But yeah, the time seemed to be right to then make the switch, and especially with Excalibur growing and getting more of different offerings out into the market, seemed like the right time that you and I decided, okay, let's move forward. And so really the whole path of my career, including what I do now, is about finding out, what works, what doesn't work, and especially if it doesn't work, how do we fix it? And if things are good, how can we make it better? And then to translate that into a larger process for the larger customer base and for the larger community.
Yeah, and it was something that was new for us that we saw at Excalibur as we were growing. Um, one of the challenges is ensuring that the customer is successful. We would find that our consultant and the team that was working on it felt things were going really really well, but a manager may feel, oh, things are a little bit, feel like they're a little bit behind, or I don't know if we spent enough time on this. They may have concerns that they haven't raised to anybody, and that's really your role, is that interface with the customer to share with me any concerns you have. Also,
Hmm.
for in many cases, things that have gone exceptionally well. It's something I know. I love seeing your emails that you share out where you've talked to a customer and checked in with them, and any of the number of people that we've got on video, they'll say they're a rock star, or they were a superstar, they bailed us out of a situation, and thank you. And so there's as many positive things, and there's not really many negative things that from that context where things are failing. We're always looking at how can we be better at what we do, um, and so sometimes we don't take a hint well. Maybe one of
Well,
the
and it's
situations.
it's interesting that you say that, because a lot of times it's because they like the consultant so much that if they would have liked to see something slightly different, they don't want to bring it up because they're happy overall with the outcome. They're happy with the people they worked with. They really feel like they're just, nitpicking. And that's not necessary. We're happy to help. We're happy to make the change or to adjust it a little. But it's funny that it's a very different note than what I was used to before, at other places where it was a deep rooted dissatisfaction. That in this case, it's often because they're so thrilled with the overall that they feel like they're nitpicking over something that they shouldn't, and that's
Well,
completely missing the. We want to be there for them.
right. Well, and that's an important thing, and an important role that you play is we're always looking to continually improve. We know we don't do everything perfectly, and we also want to do things the way the customer would like them done. So each customer has nuances, and you've helped us uncover those and be able to adapt to serve each customer as an individual in the way that they would like to work. And so it's all great. It's all wonderful. We appreciate what you do, and I know our customers appreciate what you do, and helping to ensure their success, whether that's in an active project or also keeping in touch with them as you do, to kind of find out what are the next things that they want to work on, and kind of keeping the heartbeat alive, as all of our customers strive to continue to change. Now, you had
Absolutely.
mentioned that you emigrated here from the Netherlands. Now, most people that meet Mark, I've known Mark for a lot of years now,
That's
and
6.5.
and uh, you know, Mark doesn't really have an accent. You'll catch it every once in a while. It's like talking to a Canadian. There'll be certain idiosyncrasies. We have a couple. We have our Canadian team, and so if you want to know if somebody's Canadian, ask them to say the word sorry, and you'll hear the word sorry as an example. And so we but Mark's got a wealth of knowledge, being kind of a world traveler. And now, Mark, you are living in Colorado. Tell us a little bit about where you are in Colorado.
It's a tiny little town. Even locals often don't know exists. It's Palmer Lake, and it really lives in the past. It has that community feel, and a lot of young families, a lot of just old school kind of traditional get-togethers where the fire department does some kind of chili cookout, and it's very homey. It's safe and very secluded. There's not a lot of room for it to grow either. It's by a lake. A lot of people come fishing and paddle boarding. There's a lot of hiking trails that veer out from it, and open spaces to take the dogs. And yeah, it's we even have goats in our yard. I live on about an acre, so we have two Nigerian dwarf goats and three Australian shepherds. And and then I've got 3 kids of my own now. That's a 7-year-old and baby twins. So if I look a little tired on camera, I Googled my symptoms of like I feel a little tired and moody lately, and Google said it's kids. You have kids. So,
You have children.
yeah.
So goat farming is apparently one of your hobbies, but you have a number of other hobbies.
Yes. Well, and it wasn't even a hobby. It was really a need-based thing for our children. Uh, they don't do cow dairy, but they can do goat milk. So we have the little ladies for milk. But yeah, it's pretty broad. I feel like I don't want to echo Jonathan Burdick too much in from his video. But yes, I've first and foremost definitely love music. Very involved with that. A variety of different instruments, anything piano, guitar, drums, singing. Um, I've been doing that especially in a church setting the last number of years. Not a lot of time left for an actual band or something. Maybe when I'm older. Um, and yeah, there's certainly a variety of instruments that I've just picked up temporarily just to learn it and play it, just because I was interested. Trumpet, violin, that kind of thing. I still would love to do the saxophone at some point. And but I also really have learned and grown to enjoy like home improvement projects and car repairs and things of that nature, where I just replace a subframe or timing belts and all. It doesn't matter how intimidating it sounds to a lot of people. It's an interesting puzzle to me. So as long as we have another vehicle for the wife, then I get to take it apart and save us some money on a mechanic.
Well, Mark, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for sharing a little bit about what makes up Mark Schot. Um, and to our audience, stay tuned. We'll have be introducing you to more Knights of the Round Table as time goes on. Mark, again, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.